Hello and welcome to ETAuto. We are at the 64th annual session of the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers here today. And we are here with Mr. Shenu Agarwal, who's the Managing Director and CEO of Ashok Leyland. Thank you for sparing your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, to begin with, I would first like to understand from you, when we began the fiscal year, we saw a lot of OEMs, a lot of, ratings agencies giving up their estimates of low growth. But now after the H1 has passed on, H1 has moved on, we're hearing that we're seeing them as like changing or updating their estimates now. So for you personally, how do you see the momentum moving in the commercial vehicle industry at large, and also for the Ashok Leyland industry for this current fiscal year?
Yes, you are right. Before beginning of the year, I think there was a more pessimistic view about the CV industry for the year. But I think the narrative has totally changed now. At the beginning of the year, I think many agencies were saying that H1 could see even 15% drop in the industry, in CV industry. But that didn't turn out to be right. Quarter one, we saw very significant growth in the CV industry. July and August, I understand, I do acknowledge, have not fared very well for the CV industry, but I think those reasons are temporary in nature. So I think one thing that has affected industry in July and August is the extensive rain. I have been in the market last few weeks, and I have seen that some of the areas in the country are just have just stopped all activities because of the rains. So, but that is temporary in nature. I think the other reason is also that after the elections, it took a little bit of a time for the new infrastructure projects to kick in, right? But that also, I would say, is temporary. I think coming this October, we should see a very positive growth. You are right also in this way that many of the rating agencies who were a little bit pessimistic at the beginning of the year have now revised their forecast. And I think, like I said, the whole narrative is very positive for the CV industry. I think most of the agencies and even the industry observers are expecting a very good growth this year.
Okay, and how much growth are you expecting for Ashok Leyland per se?
See, our intention would be to beat the industry growth. So we will attempt towards that. But I think overall, based on the recent ICRA report, etc., I think whether it is heavy duty trucks or whether it is light commercial vehicles or buses, of course, I think all segments would show a positive growth.
But do you see the fiscal 25 could be a record year for the commercial vehicle industry?
I don't know. I mean, I think it could be definitely, depends on, how the market fares in H2. We are expecting a very strong H2 in all the segments. Uh, yeah, but I think the key thing is that, this would be a growth here. The key thing is that we are defying this industry, is defying all the predictions of cyclicity. We would be into third or fourth year of continuous growth. So I think that augurs very well. I think even if we look forward into the future, I think fundamentals are really great. So not just this year, but we are very optimistic and positive about the next few years as well.
So that's good to hear actually. And then moving on to the two biggest trends that we are talking about in the industry, one is the sustainability and one is the technology. So first of all, on the technology part, like we have seen everybody moving towards electric. Ashok Leyland itself has its two like EV subsidiary, OM and Switch. You're moving there. But we also heard, your alliance with your partnership, basically, to use a better word, with the Reliance for the hydrogen trucks. So how is the progression on that? And another thing, are you also looking at hybrids per se for maybe for LCVs?
Okay. So see,
Basically, to understand your technology pathway for the next few
yes,
years.
yes. So see, I think when it comes to city buses and when it comes to light commercial vehicle, I think the roadmap is quite clear that these two segments are going to go to the electrification route,
Okay.
right? So that is why we created Switch, so that Switch can focus on these two segments where the adoption would be much faster. And I think we are very excited about the prospects of Switch because the kind of push we are seeing from the government side on these two segments, the kind of reception we are seeing from the customer base, and the kind of maturity in the technology the industry has been able to develop, I think all of this is proving to be really good. I do think that for medium and heavy duty trucks, I think there are still like a couple of options or maybe even more that we are looking at. So clarity to that extent is not that high. However, at Ashok Leyland, we are known for our innovation. Innovation is our DNA. We actually started working on the first electric vehicle even more than a decade ago, right? And we are working on various technologies that could potentially be of prominence in the future.
Are you at all also looking at the green hydrogen?
Not per se production of hydrogen or even distribution, but yes, we are looking at hydrogen as a possible fuel for the medium and heavy duty trucks. Sometimes we boast that we have the largest fleet of hydrogen ICE trucks in the world, although that number is very small. But yes, along with Reliance, we are working on a pilot where we have a few number of hydrogen ICE trucks that Reliance is using.
Right, right. Also, can we see two of these subsidiaries that you have at any point being listed?
At any point, yes. I mean, of course, I think we have some time to go for that. We have to uh, just, improve on our top line, improve on our bottom line as far as Switch is concerned. But we are very, very excited with the prospects of Switch because I think the way the ecosystem is moving in around electrification of buses and light commercial vehicles, the way we have invested in maturing the technology, the way we have been able to launch the products ahead of anybody else, especially in some of the segments that we are focusing in, I think that gives us a lot of positivity about the prospects of Switch. At some point in time, of course, we will look at listing the companies as well.
No, that's right. Since our answer is in affirmating, let me just take this opportunity to ask, like, how far is that point? If you could.
It's very hard to say, I mean, I wish it could be sooner, but I think we want to, I mean, two things we do want to achieve in Switch is we want to build it into a very profitable, mature company with very sound technology. So as soon as that happens, I think we will go ahead with our plans. But right now, the focus is purely on technology. We want to be the best in the industry in terms of electric technology for buses and light commercial vehicles. A lot of effort is going into that front. Also, I think the other point is also we need to see some significant level of adoption
Yeah.
of these vehicles in the market, right? So both of these things are going to happen. It's just a matter of
No,
time.
that's fair enough. And secondly, on the sustainability part, like how is Ashok Leyland aligned on the sustainability part? Like, what is the path? What is the roadmap, probably?
See, most of our sustainability efforts would come through development of these new technologies, right? We have already announced that Ashok Leyland wants to be a net zero company by 2048.
40.
That is the year when we will turn 100.
Yeah.
And multiple efforts are being positioned in this direction, whether it is internal consumption of energy or whether it is producing vehicles with alternative fuels and sustainable fuels. But we are very keen. As I said, Ashok Leyland's innovation is in Ashok Leyland's DNA. Sometimes we do things even ahead of time, but we think in the long run that always favors us.
All right. And these 2 days of annual sessions that we have been having, we have heard the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari lay a lot of focus on the scrappage policy.
Yes.
And we've seen that a lot of OEMs have, almost all the OEMs have agreed for the discounts on their vehicles. For commercial vehicles, it's up to 3%.
Yes.
So, what is your take on that? And do you think that is like enough for the industry, like 3% in the commercial vehicle?
I don't know whether it is enough, but we are not saying that this is the limit. Huh?
Okay.
So I think it is a move in the right direction. It is not just discounts that will propel scrappage. It is various other factors which have to come together. But as I said, this is a great move. At least people have now started thinking in that direction. If I mean the commerce or the economics of this permits, we will be willing to offer even more discounts in the future.
Okay. Okay. Can it go up to like 10-15% or?
It's hard to say. As I said, a lot of factors have to play. So it is the overall economics or the commerce that is involved in scrappage that has to be right for everyone, not just for us, but for customers, for government, everyone. But as I said, this is a great move in the right direction. And I think with time, you will see more and more traction coming in scrappage.
Yeah, got it. Also, the government was laying a lot of focus on building up particular scrappage facilities by
Yes.
the OEM. So, do you have any such plans by next year?
We are doing it a little bit differently. We are doing it in a franchisee model. But where what we will do is to provide the whole expertise and knowledge about creation and operation of a scrappage center. I think within the next 12 months, you will see at least 2 or 3 scrapping facilities coming up from Ashok Leyland through our franchisee partners.
Okay, and where can we expect them coming?
We have not decided on the locations,
Okay.
but yeah, we will very soon decide on the locations. I think the first one would be in the south somewhere.
All right.
Yeah, but the other 2, we will decide on the locations very soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, sir.
Same
Thanks
here.
a lot,
Thank
sir.
you very much.